seated. Our word today comes to us from the Gospel of John, chapter 14. And in that, Jesus says, I am the way, the truth, and the life. And he really gives us what has become a hope-filled passage, an opportunity for us to kind of focus on him. It has also been used as a way to beat people over the head and separate them too. And so today we'll explore together some of what that passage might really say to us and what kind of hope it does give to us. Here's the passage. Jesus said to his disciples, do not let your, this one says, do not be worried. Have faith in God and have faith in me. There are many rooms in my Father's house. I wouldn't tell you this unless it were true. I'm going there to prepare a place for each of you. After I have done this, I will come back and take you with me. Then we will be together. You know the way to where I am going. Thomas, ever the doubtful one, says, Lord, we don't even know where you are going. How can we know the way? Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. Without me, no one can go to the Father. If you had known me, you would have known the Father. But from now on, you do know him, and you have seen him. Philip said, Lord, show us the Father. That's all we need. Jesus replied, Philip, I have been with you for a long time. Don't you know who I am? If you have seen me, you have seen the Father. How can you say to me to show you the Father? Don't you believe that I am one with the Father, and that the Father is one with me? What I say isn't said on my own. The Father who lives in me says these things. Have faith in me when I say that the Father is one with me, and that I am one with the Father. Or else have faith in me simply because of the things I do. I tell you for certain that if you have faith in me, you will do these same things that I am doing. You will even do greater things now that I am going back to the Father. Ask me, and I will do whatever you ask. This way the Son will bring honor to the Father. I will do whatever you ask me to do. This is the gospel of the Lord. Well, when you hear Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life, what comes to mind? I tell you, this passage is often read with that opening piece, do not let your hearts be troubled, as a time and a passage read at funerals or in hospital emergency times. And it can bring comfort in that way, but here it is, the fifth Sunday after Easter, and we're called to be celebrating life, to be celebrating resurrection, to be carrying on as followers of Jesus who is risen, who's risen indeed. And so it becomes it was frankly a struggle for me to think of, what can I say? And particularly on this day where we're celebrating moms and we're celebrating those who give themselves to the life of this congregation. So, this is what you get. First, I had some show and tell. This was a lot of fun for me, digging out the oldies but goodies. I said to the kids, or kid this morning, what is this? Because my guess is that not many kids have seen any of these things. I said, this is what's known as paper GPS. Right?
That's a good description.
Yeah, it might be helpful to some. But and this map, this one is dated 1979 and 80. I don't know if I ever have that.
That's the question that comes
Right, I have it. I don't know why I have it, but I was thinking in my book. It's kind of a cool map though of Chicago. But
yeah.
I will say this: it does not show Lily Lake on this one. By the next one, 1980 something, 87, I think. That one has Lily Lake in it. So
That's a great map.
yeah, it is.
It's like go back and come back. Yeah.
I'm gonna frame them. But this was one of my favorites because it was a very detailed book of Chicago area, all of this northern Illinois piece, and find out where you were going, the direction that you needed to go. And that's really what it comes down to today with our gospel text is we need to know what is the way. How do we get to where we're going? But I guess that's the big question is where are we going? Where is it all of us are wanting to go or are going? I'm not going to tell you where to go. But where is it that we ultimately want to end up, or people of faith particularly? Heaven, right? That's what, maybe we don't think about that on a daily basis. Maybe we should, but we probably don't. But that is one of the big ultimate life questions, isn't it? Where are we going? Where am I going? How do I know if I'm in or out, if I'm going to make it to heaven or not? But Jesus says to us today to help us with that question, do not be afraid. And then he goes on to say, I am going to prepare a place for you. He says that to his disciples then and now. I'm going ahead. Then he goes on to share a little bit more about that you have seen the Father. And you know where I'm going. And Thomas, first off, says, how do we know where you're going? We don't know what you're doing. We don't still get this. And Philip follows up with, how can we have seen the Father? Show us the Father. Now Jesus, being Jesus, says, I've been with you all this time and you still don't get it? Well, disciples then and disciples now probably can say, yeah, we probably don't really get it. So we meet together on Sunday mornings. We meet together other times of the week. Hopefully in our hearts and in our homes, we take the time to try to figure out the system, the mapping, the procedure, the Bible, the instructions on where is it that we can go? Where is it that we want to go? Where is it that we are going? And how do we get there? Today, Jesus, I think, says some important things in this passage that gives us some instruction. And the first piece is that this place we call home, this idea of heaven, of God's heavenly mansion that we all strive to get, it's not a destination, particularly a final destination. I really think that here's the word of good news for us, that it is in the here and now. It is not a place, it's a journey. It's a relationship. A journey or relationship. It's an opportunity for us to live. It's a way that we get to know God. It's a way we get to know each other. And it's a way that we live in that context of with and for each other. Jesus says, I am the example of who God is. So look at me, look at who I am, what I do, what I'm about, how I take care of those around me, how I treat people around me, those I know and those I don't know. Look at how others treat me and how I respond. Look at how I come and kind of flip what you're thinking about many beliefs and systems that we have, so that you can see that I'm opening them up to wider thoughts, to think outside the box. You see, Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. Jesus comes to us and he brings this sense of who he is into our midst. And he tries to collect us to follow him, to get on that road, that journey, and even more importantly, the time of relationship of who he is. For that's how we are able to even follow, is to get to know him, to get to see who he is and what he's about. And it's in that context that we discover that we are already living in the kingdom. When we are following Jesus, when we are providing an example of what he was about, just as he provided an example of what the Father is about to the people that we know, to the people in our lives, again, known or unknown, that we are living the example of his way, his truth, and his life. And I invite you then to think about the questions, not just then where are we going, but who are we becoming? Who am I in my daily life? Am I showing who Jesus is? Am I striving to, even when I know that I mess up, even when I know that I don't live up to his example, am I remembering that it's because without him I can't do that? Without him I can't live and do the things that God wants me to be about, the things that I even want to do. So I again I surrender myself to be in him, to let him stand in my stead, to let him be the example, to let God see me through all that Jesus has done. Now the disciples were just getting ready to have to say goodbye to Jesus. The night he shared these words, it was the night of his betrayal. And he knew that he was going away. And the disciples were looking ahead to a lot of changes, perhaps afraid. Jesus says, do not let your hearts be troubled. He says that to us continually as well, for there is a lot of change that we experience in our personal lives, in our corporate life as the church. And sometimes change is unwelcome, but that strength in the unity of being the body of Christ, we can stand together. So when we are afraid, we can remember that Jesus does not promise necessarily easy sailing, but he does promise that we will not be alone. The St. Thomas Aquinas is reported to have said, if the primary aim of a captain were to preserve his ship, he would keep it in port forever. And so, in this idea of our life being a journey, we have to leave port to be going somewhere, to be moving ahead, to be relating to others, to be getting out there and experiencing what life is really about. So as we fully become who we are as this journey of life, that we need to know how to live. Jesus said the way, that he is the way. The way, again, is not the time to check into that mansion in the sky. The way is the journey, not the destination. The way is doing what Jesus did in this life. And Jesus promises that what we do in his example will even be greater than what he did. Jesus' ministry was a short 3-year stint and covered little territory. And he did great and wondrous things. But together, his body is meant to do greater things. It's in the fact that he fed the sick, the hungry, he cured the sick, fed the hungry, welcomed the lost, lifted up the oppressed. His way was simple. It was to love all. Love God and neighbor. And that's Christ's greatest commandment. Not just a simple, sweet bumper sticker kind of sentiment, but it was active and deliberate and constant to make Christ's way our life's purpose. In the way we face every obstacle and every opportunity, knowing that he will be with us, showing us the way, giving us his truth, and being with us in love. He promised never to leave us, that we are holy and chosen and God's beloved. Make Christ's way your home. For Christ is risen. Alleluia. Amen.